Welcome, kindred. It's Jessica, and I'm inviting you to journal with me as I begin my Sacred Pages journey. I'm choosing my notebook, ready to start. I was thinking this one, first of all, this is a journal that I started a few years ago now when I was studying medical astrology, and so there's some notes, it's like 2021, so there's some notes in here from 2021. But as I was going through, there's quite a bit of this is already full. It goes all the way up to, I put the ribbon in, so, nearly half of this is already full. It is really beautiful, and I will definitely want to come back to it. But I think for the 21 days of Sacred Pages, I'm going to use this little, which is like a kind of cheapish one off Amazon, a little Buckaroo journal that I had bought for a different journaling challenge a little while back, and didn't actually. I got as far as writing my name, and the rest of it is completely empty. So I don't know if you're like me, that you may have some journals around the place like this. That's the whole point of this, is that we're gonna just dive in. We're gonna start. We're not gonna let having to have a new journal or getting everything set up perfectly get in the way of actually just starting. The first thing I'm adding to my journal is my Sacred Pages journey tracker. I printed it out to fit, but it still needs a little trimming down, which honestly feels like a great metaphor for this whole process. Things don't have to be a perfect fit to be meaningful. This is all about creating space in our lives, in our journals, for our practice and what is important to us. I created Sacred Pages because, as someone who's consistently journaled for over 30 years, I see and help lots of people who want a regular journal practice but don't know where to start. This really simple but powerful 21-step process is carefully designed to help you build the habit of journaling every day. By the end of the 21 days, it will feel like a natural and wonderful part of your life and spiritual practice. I'm not going to go on about what is included in the journey here. I'll link all that down below. But if you think this might be a good fit for you, I invite you to check it out. All of the printed sheets I use in this video are included in the journey. So in theory, this is me just doing day one, but of course I had to decorate the notebook too. If you've seen my videos before, you know I love a maximal approach to my journaling. I use the printables, various washi tapes, some stickers, and a gorgeous golden yellow Tombow to get this journal prepped to be my companion for the next 3 weeks. You might be wondering, if I already have a regular journaling practice, why am I doing Sacred Pages myself? I mean, I wrote this course. But the truth is, I wanted a refresh. Lately, it's like since October, November last year, I felt a little bit stuck in a rut. My journaling had become kind of bare bones, more about getting, the things down that are the structure of my practice, but not really going really deep with the practice. I know from experience that sometimes it's really good to shake things up a little bit, to bring intention back into the process. So I'm walking this journey myself in the hope that it will bring my journaling practice back front and center into my life and into my spiritual practice again. So here I am cutting out some of the bits from the printables that I wanted to use on my day one page. I made little day labels for each of the 21 days because I thought I might like to use those as I go along the journey. I love layering things up in my journal. It doesn't have to be complicated. A strip of washi, a bit of colour, some stickers, or just a printed sheet of words and pictures and a glue stick like I'm using here. To me, it instantly adds that creative touch and makes the whole process just so much more fun. After setting up the bones of my day one page, I decided to go back and decorate some of the other blank pages at the start of the journal too. I was enjoying the cutting and sticking. I've kept the colour palette fairly limited for this setup, mostly black and white with a little dash of red on the printables and that gorgeous golden yellow of the Tombow. I love how it feels cohesive but still has texture with all the different patterns. Ideally, I would have printed the sheets, the printable sheets, on cream paper to match the notebook paper, since the white does stand out a bit. But in the spirit of not letting perfection hold me back from getting started, I just went with it. At this point, I realised, I now have lots of little pieces of paper that I've cut out. Where am I going to keep them? I could have put them in a file or a poly pocket, but I thought it would be much more fun to make a simple paper pocket right in the back of this notebook to hold all of the smaller pieces. I just folded the edges in of a spare piece of paper to create the envelope shape, then sized it to fit and glued it down. To make it easier to get my hand in and grab the stickers, I added a little cutout to the top. I was really pleased with how it turned out, a handy little pouch, yay! A lot of notebooks already have this kind of thing built in, but this one didn't. Now it does. For the larger paper pieces, I decided to use a gold bulldog clip to keep them in place next to the new pouch. So now everything is neat and ready for me to use as I go through the 21-day journey. With that problem solved, I went back to my day 1 page to set up the prompt for the day. Day 1 is simple. It's just one question. I want a consistent journal practice because... I decided to cut and stick the prompt in because even after all these years of journaling, I still dislike my handwriting. And to put off the actual writing part a little bit longer, I turned the adjacent page into another kind of title page. And honestly, it ended up being my favourite page in this whole spread. It's probably what you saw as the thumbnail for this video. I stuck with the same colour palette for this page, layering different textures and shades of paper until it just felt right. Collage is one of my all-time favourite journaling mediums. It's inherently playful because you have to work with the bits that you have. Plus, there's no risk of things bleeding through the page like they sometimes do with pens or watercolours. Though, of course, if you do go a bit overboard, your journal might get so massive that it won't close completely, which is a problem I've definitely had. But it's a fun problem to have. And luckily, most notebooks these days have elastics to keep everything safely squished inside. With that page done, I couldn't put off the actual journaling any longer, so I just got stuck into answering the prompt. The main reason journaling is such a powerful practice for me is that as an autistic person with ADHD, it really helps me process my thoughts. There's something about seeing them down on the page that just hits different. It helps me untangle stuck ideas, process emotions, and bring clarity to things that can feel overwhelming when they're just in my head. But as I wrote, I realised there were so many other reasons I journal, like clearing my mind, having a creative practice, a space to play and make mistakes, a place to keep memories and document the ups and downs of my life. And I also noticed something interesting. The discipline of journaling ripples out into other areas of my life too. When I commit to this practice, I find it easier to bring structure and intention into other things as well. I'm curious, what would your answer to be to this question? Why do you want a consistent journaling practice? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. This is my completed setup. I did fill in the start of the tracker. I just put today's date and to complete all 21 days by the end of March. And I've given myself a gold star because I have done day 1. There was my title page. I added a little bit to this page off camera as well because I felt like it was a little bit blank compared to some of the others. You saw this page. I did stick the contents pages together because I don't think I'm going to need all of those contents pages. I thought just one would be perfect. This is my favorite page, and then this is my scrabbly writing of the answer to the prompt. And then at the back, I've got these clipped in. I decided to swap that out to be a bit flatter. And I've got my little pouch where I've got lots of my other little things. I'm also going to put these stickers here actually because they're the ones I'm going to use to give me my stars as I'm working through the different days of the journey. So I hope that you have enjoyed seeing this setup of my journal. And if you think the 21 days of sacred pages would be something that is useful to you, that you think would be valuable, I'll leave the link in the description box down below. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.